Now get this! If you want to be a genius, it's easy. All you gotta say is everything stinks. Then you're never wrong. That's how much of a genius I am. That's how I got to where I am today.
Activating local pylon array. This is Dr. Fox in the hypercore. Stand by. We are now engaging sub-ether tether net connections, and we are relaying live. This is TFTS relay 030920. Episode log completely lost. We are resurfacing after just copious amounts of technical delays and technical assumptions. Sometimes we make assumptions with technology, and we shouldn't do that because it makes an ass out of you. That's why you shouldn't do it. It's safe for me to assume anything, though.
Never make assumptions.
Who's there? Is there somebody? Okay. Pull this down. High up on the filters there. Okay. There we go. Do you read? Stand by.
Hand down, face up.
You've
That's
done
the way
it.
we like to fuck.
That's all the way. Wait, face down? Hands up.
Yeah, what?
that's how you
I
can-
mean, I guess that's the thing.
Because that means when you power bottom, they can high five you. Well, low five you. So face down, palms up.
I was mistaken. I'm sorry.
It's okay. That happens a lot. Most people are mistaken. It takes a brave individual to step forward and say that they were wrong. And anytime that you're about to say something, just go ahead and admit that you're going to be wrong and that you should probably not even continue. Just stop.
Well, if I did that, I would not do anything ever in life. That's
yeah,
the
but
thing.
then you'd never be wrong.
You're very correct there.
Yeah,
My
you could
good
be.
sir.
What do you think? Well, why do you think those gurus out in like East Himalaya? I think that's in like Alabama. They live alone, by themselves. And people end up seeking them out They're like, hey, we heard that you've
And down, face up. That's
done
the way
it.
we like to fuck.
That's all the way. Wait, face down, hands up.
Yeah, what?
that's how you
I
can-
mean, I guess that's the thing.
Because that means when you power bottom, they can high five you. Well, low five you. So face down, palms up.
I was mistaken. I'm sorry.
It's okay. That happens a lot. Most people are mistaken. It takes a brave individual to step forward and say that they were wrong. And anytime that you're about to say something, just go ahead and admit that you're going to be wrong and that you should probably not even continue. Just stop. If you
Well, if I did that, I would not do anything ever in life. That's
yeah,
the
but
thing.
then,
It's
but
like,
then you'd never be wrong.
Well, you're very correct there.
Yeah,
My
you could
good
be.
sir.
What do you think? Well, why do you think those gurus out in like East Himalaya? I think that's in like Alabama. They live alone, by themselves. And people end up seeking them out. They're like, hey, we heard that you've found out like what the meaning of everything is, and that you're one
they're
with
just, like,
harmony
taking
and nature. And they're
or
like, no,
ayahuasca.
yeah, it's no, I think it's pretty much just staying away from people. I think that's the best way to do it. If you want to get away from being burdened by the great Satan, don't think. And it's hard to not think when you're in an environment such as the world. There are
Wouldn't it be like
always
a
things
big
going
horrible
on that just want to make you think, and you have to ignore that impulse. The real Satan is reaching out for you from this dimension, and Satan is deviation. Anytime you feel, that's Satan. You shouldn't really feel.
I mean,
that's,
but
you
like,
get
what if
past
you woke
thinking.
up one day and like it was like, oh, my name is Satan, and you were all wrong?
The Great Satan?
Yeah, maybe he's the guy.
I think that's an Indian restaurant here in town.
Perhaps.
I think
but,
you get a nice yellow curry there.
Well, it's not red, so it can't be evil. So there
It
we
wouldn't
go.
be, yeah,
Ah.
exactly. But then there you go. You're assigning things. Like red is evil. I always thought red was like lusty. You think of big bulging wieners and floppy vagina flaps. They're all like pinkish, reddish, brownish. They're beaten down. It's like a chocolate strawberry that got beaten with a pantyhose filled with pubic
Sounds
hairs.
great on paper.
Well, it's good to describe. Don't think, but that's your genitals.
Well, I mean, I'm seeing in the chat right now. It's Hazel the Windmills. She says, "Hail Satin." So is Satin, Satan, and Satan?
No, Satine. I think it's
Oh,
Satine.
Satine, yes.
Yeah,
Yes, he works at the Indian restaurant.
Okay, well, that's fair.
Satine.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's a yeah, they're nice. They had a thing going on. He got the job easily. It's all about who you know. You know who I know?
A little bit of nepotude.
Nobody. Nepotism? Oh, wait, it actually sounds like a real word. Don't say real words.
Neptotestosterone.
There you go. 50 cc's of that. Stat.
Hail Santa.
Santa
No one's
is...
talking about Santa. That's my problem.
about
right
Because
now.
it's out of
Santana?
season. We already... So are you ready? Are you ready to re-engage the war on Christmas? Because I was totally on board for...
I'll destroy it.
Didn't we win the war? Wasn't Christmas defeated?
It's coming back.
I thought
It's got a bad case of sequelitis.
Some napalm and we just torched the hell out of Christmas last
Well,
year.
we
didn't
need to at least announce it. We need to form a coalition of the willing, and then I think we need to generate some sort of buzzword, I don't know, a hashtag or something, and then we'll send all of our memos out to God's loved
Satan.
children. And on the name of
Combined.
on the name of like chopsticks crossed, it's real. It's real, and we're here to take away Christmas.
You know,
I hear no objections.
No, I mean, here's my objection. Everyone loves the Jolly Red Man coming around once a year.
So we're talking about the Kool-Aid Man, right?
Yes, the Kool-Aid Man.
I thought he died.
He bursts into your house through the chimney, and he gives you Kool-Aid and sometimes presents. I don't know. Maybe I'm mixing up people, but
He
it
gives you
seems-
Kool-Aid packets and also sometimes presents.
You know,
He
I like to drink-
knows if you've been bad or worse, and he waits outside your house.
Yeah, with a crowbar.
No,
He
no,
doesn't
no.
need it. He
was
is
outside
the
my house with a
crowbar.
machete.
He's the Kool-Aid Man. No, what he does, Kool-Aid Man, when he's had enough of that noise, I think he would just start picking children up and dropping them into his container vessel body. He is the chalice. He is the Holy Grail, personified, furried. He's the furry version of the Holy Grail, the Kool-Aid Man. And I want to drown in his blood. That red, cherry-flavored blood.
You think it's cherry flavored?
That or
honestly,
fruit
like, I've seen
punch.
blood before. It's more like Dr. Pepper looking, like Dr. Pepper or Mr. Pibb. I would see Santa having.
That's like a
Dr.
Cola
Pepper.
Brown. Mr. Pibb is a spicy cherry soda granted by the fine folks over at the Coca-Cola Corporation.
Yes, great people.
Spicy cherry. How are your Coca-Cola stocks doing?
Well, I have like at least 1,000, and they're up and up and up and up. Even though, like, you know, things aren't going so well right now.
No, things are
Everyone
looking-
loves a good Coke.
It's that economy. It's gonna come back. It'll get you every time. And that's where I think I was really going to start directing folks here on Time for the Show, was with more sound economic advice. Again, I hear no objections. So
No, I mean,
no,
I'm
exactly, 'cause
objecting right now. I'm
you
objecting to
missed
the
it.
objection.
It's over.
It's too late.
You could have the time for requeef.
Requeef?
Requeef. The time for
I'm not sure
requeef
what you're trying to say there.
is a miss.
I queefed this morning.
A lady never asks and a gentleman never tells.
I guess I'm not a gentleman then.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Don't you got to be careful, because Time for the Show is like a classy kind of environment. This is where people come with like deep, concerted feelings that they want to confront.
I'm
this is
actually wearing a bow
therapy.
tie right now.
Yeah, I got some nice wooden shoes.
What about? Well, are you at least both in like khaki slacks or like a collared
No,
polo
I
shirt?
just have the wooden shoes.
Just
that's
the
it.
wooden shoes. Points on the end?
Yeah, you just one of them. That's my kicking foot.
Just one.
Yeah.
Self-fashioned, or did you pick them up yourself?
No, I whittled them myself out of some nice fine oak.
Oh, I thought you said you whittled them out of yourself for a second. So it was like your wooden shoes would actually be like you chipping
No,
away at
that's,
flesh and
I wouldn't use
bone and then
myself. I would use somebody else and whittle them down. Hello.
well, with witty retort like that, I'm sure you could whittle them down in a couple of days.
whittle, waddle.
I haven't even started. Do I dare try to activate the interns? Or how are you guys doing? They
Oh.
seem to be okay.
Well, the interns are excited.
The interns are very happy today. And there were
Yeah.
other
Did you
interns,
feed
but
them today?
I'm scared.
Did they get?
You
did they
open
get
the door. Well, you know, I encourage them. It's not that you feed them. I don't know if you saw Mad Max, but it's kind of like that. You grab a
you
piece
strapped
of
them to the
bread.
front of your car.
Yeah, and you drive the car towards the bread, and they're like,
Fine.
"We may
That-
die, but at
Yeah.
least we're gonna eat." And then you get them really close, and then they don't die, but then you don't give them the bread.
You
So
ever do
they're
the
still,
thing
they're still
where you,
invigorated.
so you drive them really close, almost like
You drive them to
almost in
crows.
reach
They're
of
tiny
hands.
people, and they could actually be. I'm trying to rework it to get crows to do this. I would like to get crows to do all of time for the show. Then we could have time for the crow.
Oh, I see what you did.
Have
there.
you ever like decided to like take
no,
the bread?
never
like,
once.
Never once.
Deciding
just
is
let it
overrated.
Dry out.
Yeah,
And
we
then,
don't want to
like,
think.
put it out in the sun and like let it bake in the heat, and then like give it to the followers. Call it some subgenius bread or something like that. Like,
Subgenius
never-
bread.
Yeah.
Subgenius bread.
Call it whatever.
How many different cremated remains do you mix in for subgenius bread?
All of them.
I would imagine that it's really subgenius bread is just like water poured into an ashtray and stirred. That's
Yeah.
about it. That's subgenius bread. It feeds 10.
Bullshit. I've eaten like at least 5 loaves myself.
And it's an excellent source of carbon.
Yeah, and that's good for exfoliating, so you can scrub your colon clean.
And then like give it to the followers. Call it some subgenius bread or something like that. Like,
Subgenius bread.
Yeah.
Subgenius bread.
Call it whatever.
How many different cremated remains do you mix in for subgenius bread?
All of them.
I would imagine that it's really subgenius bread is just like water poured into an ashtray and stirred. That's about it. That's subgenius bread. It feeds 10.
Bullshit. I've eaten like at least 5 loaves myself.
And it's an excellent source of carbon.
Yeah, and that's good for exfoliating, so you can scrub your colon clean.
Well, no, it does it for you when you poop it out.
Yeah, and then you can save that poop, and you have an activated charcoal
Oh no, that's
back
ridiculous.
scratcher.
You're talking about something ridiculous. Who would do that?
You shouldn't keep your poops, kid. It's not a safe
That's
thing
right.
to do.
Yeah. The
It's not
proper
a
way
good
to
thing to
dispose
pop
of
'em
them is
into
to
a-
put them in the recycling bin.
Yeah.
Scalpod
Put 'em in a
says
recycling
subgenius
bin,
bread is all crust.
but like don't put them in like a jar and like save them up and like think like that.
Don't own
Christmas-
jars. Anybody that owns jars, I am immediately suspicious of. Like, what did you ever think that you needed
I mean,
to keep?
how else are you going to store your organs?
Wait, your
Yeah,
like,
that's right, in jars.
Yours,
Yeah, you
yours.
think about that.
You can get other people.
You're a
Jars,
jar.
no, jars. No, jars say something. Jars are like threaded for access. So if you're gonna keep your organs in it, I would at least think of that's when you start investing like the vacuum seal. Say
Now,
you have
just to be
2
clear,
kidneys
don't
right
mean my
now.
personal
Maybe
organs,
I will
the organs
assume
I
that you
collect.
have 2 kidneys, but let's say you remove one later.
Oh, he has 7.
Just remember what Ron Popeil said: air is the enemy. You just suck the air out of like a
Plan
Ziploc
number 2.
bag, and then you can you keep your. But I would keep it in like the bottom of the box. You know, put it in a box, but not a jar. A jar means you're gonna go for it later. It's tempting. That's why you keep candy in jars. It takes you a little effort to get to it, but oh my goodness, look at me. I opened a lid. I deserve a reward. Jelly bean time.
I keep my candy in the original packaging that it came in, so that's there's
That's
that.
only because you consume them all in one sitting.
Shh, shut up.
You're not saving
You
it.
don't talk
You're not
about
saving
me
it for
that
later.
way.
Yeah,
I
there's
mean, I do
no-
the same thing, but
Yeah, if you would put it, yeah, you just eat it. You just eat it. You don't put it in a jar. That means you're going to
I
come
like
back.
to save one individual candy from the whole package for later.
You have to get a pack of Starbursts, and then you have to unwrap each one and put it in a mason jar, and then seal it and come back. No, don't seal it. Actually, leave the lid off. Do what jar owners
what I would
do,
do? I would
and
unwrap
leave
them
the
all.
lid off.
And then I would leave it in the sun so they all sort of melted into one piece of candy.
The
And then
The
yeah,
best
then-
will be the layer of dust and lint right over the top. That'll collect. It'll be like a cotton
The last time
candy.
I left something in a mason jar, I ended up in a cult.
What? Well, because you did you?
But he left his common sense in the mason jar.
And then who has the jar now?
A Freemason jar. It was a Freemason jar from someone that was traveling on the road. So I'm sorry.
You have to know the secret handshake to open your Freemason jar.
What is that? Can you
I'd
tell
t-
me?
I'd
Because
tell
I
you,
mean,
but
it's a
it's-
secret
it's a
handshake.
secret.
Come on, man.
But
Well,
here,
I
I'll
need
show
to
it to
know-
you. Watch this. Check this
on the
out.
radio.
Is
You wanted to
a
say the
lot
secret
of
handshake
one-
on the radio.
Okay, it's 1. All right, and then you move to. Hold on. Then you move to 2. All right, you see this? Then
Oh,
come
yeah, I
back
get it.
around to 3.
I understand. Yeah.
Forward to 4. Forward to 4. Back
Yeah?
to 5. It's easy. It's easy. Just remember
Okay.
that.
they put like 5 fidget spinners in there, and I want them right now
5 fidget spinners in the handshake or in the jar.
in the jar.
In a jar of
Oh.
pickles. It's like you can open any kosher jar. That's the whole point with like the Freemason jar. Is that you can open any kosher
Is a
treat.
kosher jar the one that's blessed by a Jewish person?
Any Jewish person, I think. I think as long as they look at it, it's like in a safe space, as they don't
Excellent.
like. You know,
Oh, well then I have several, I think.
yeah. So you have several ready-made
Does that make me kosher?
kosher. Well, I don't know. Have you been keeping your organs in it?
But no, but I know at least 2 Jewish individuals who looked at me.
Well, have they looked at your jars that are containing elements of you? That's where it gets into. You have to go back to. I don't have my Bible. Where's my
What does it mean to be,
Deuterocanonical
like,
law?
kosher?
They
Like,
can't talk. You can't touch the carcass. You know, there was the beeswax with the honey on the carcass of the lion, and even though the honey is kosher, the carcass of the lion is not, and so you cannot eat of the honey out of the carcass of the lion. So you can't do that. You can't do no. You gotta leave that honey alone. It's not kosher. But if you get that honey and you put it in a kosher Freemason jar, it's kosher. If it goes in,
Sorry,
it's
kosher
set.
free mason jar. But then you said it was kosher. I'm not following that. If it's kosher free, how can it be kosher?
Is it a free kosherism or a kosher free? I forget. Because they have the different symbols. There's more than one. There's like, if you look on the back of the jar, there's an F. That's for free. And I think that means you can just take it.
Does that mean
And then
you
the
can-
K, I think, is for Freemason. You see what I'm getting at? It's a series of symbols
if you're like
on
a
the
Freemason,
jars.
are you really free, or do you abide by?
No, there's
it?
dues. There's dues. Someone has to afford, to get the steins washed out.
Yeah, like I don't think it like. I think the name is kind of silly because like you're not really free. Like you're having to do what everyone else does.
Well, yeah, no, it's free masonry. So you're free to access like Home Depot and grab masonry equipment. I think it just all belongs to you as long as you're building
Like
something with it. You can't
Like a
hoard
lawnmower.
it. Yeah. If it's masonry, yeah, I think lawnmowers are masonry. They're made out of metal, right? You can craft a building with a lawnmower.
I've done that
Ride-on
before.
lawnmower.
in a
Just
video
go to
game or
any.
something.
It's fine. Go to any store or home and just take something. And when they say, "Hey, you can't have that," just say, "It's okay. I'm a Freemason." And if
I
they,
tried that as a subgenius one time, and I said, "It's just mine." And they're like, what do you mean?" I said, I'm taking this because I am Reverend Negative of the Church of the Subgenius," and they just laughed in my face.
But did you keep it?
Well, I went back in later and got what I wanted, but
Well, at least they know who took it. But
No,
you gotta,
they
you gotta
would
take
never
it.
know
I
who
think he
took it.
purchased it. That's what I'm thinking.
I
That's
wore
what
a
I'm thinking
mask.
there. Yeah, he wore a mask. He went in there with a gun and said, "I would like to purchase this."
No, I never do that.
yeah.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Forced subtraction.
He paid free 99.
I got the 4-finger discount.
The floor finger discount.
Yeah, the 4
Yeah, that's the guy that gets his thumb cut
Floor
off
finger
in
discount.
the store.
But the floor finger discount is the one where the guy drops the candy bar on the floor and he mops up close, and then you just pick it up and you walk out. Like that. That's possible, but not what happened to me.
What happened to you?
I was alive.
Oh,
Were you?
that's an unexpected answer there. I thought you were dead the whole time.
I've been dead and never lived.
Exactly what I'm talking about. Why are you claiming to be alive all of a sudden?
No. Okay.
Yeah. Face it.
Yeah.
Fess up. Which is it going to be? Fess up or die
He's
now.
just Schrodinger's cat, okay? He's alive and dead at the same time until you look at him.
This is Schrodinger's
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
This is Schrodinger's. We're both funny and not funny at the same time. You
I
you
like
can't tell how hilarious this
Unless you
programming
observed,
is.
right? Because if you observed, then you have to decide whether or not to be funny. Usually not funny.
Exactly. And to observe, then that would mean that you were one of our radio viewers, and on our premium level too. So thank you for subscribing tonight.
Yes, brought to you by soap.
Triology.
Triology
soap.
soap, yes,
There you go.
Triology
That's
soap.
the
So
soap.
that I actually was able to take off all of my clothes earlier, and
Was it because of the soap?
And it was because
Did
of
you
the
lube up
soap. I
before you
took
took
off
off
all
the
of the clothes and then
Yeah.
lathered myself with soap live on camera on the Time for the Show Facebook.
Wow.
And I shaved myself.
Now they didn't like block you for the pornography.
It was all top of the nips.
Ah,
It was all top of
Block you for the pornography.
it was all top of the nips.
Oh, you
know?
did like little sensor thingies.
Yeah, well,
did you
I
censor your
I
nips?
put some electrical tape over my nipples, and so apparently
Oh.
that was SFW.
Nice, very good, very good.
I was surprised that I could get the tape to hold. It was,
It was very awkward.
Did you put the
because-
tape on
No,
before
his
or after
windows
you
are
lubed
just
up?
like,
Lord Ferg is telling me to come join the boys in MTA San Andreas. I'm like, I'm doing the show. It's show, man.
What do you mean
I'm doing the
empty?
show. Dude, I
that-
don't. He's like, he wants me to do the show
that's
and
not-
play
what is
San Andreas. I can't believe that I got the flipping computer running tonight. And there is no way I am going to attempt to play a video game right now. That would be insane. That is not happening. I do not want to blow up my computer. But soon, and I think that's how I'm going to do every show from now on. Is I'm just going to play video games on the air. In fact, I'm going to go play video games right now, and I'm going to walk away for like 6.5 minutes. So you're listening to
I like
Time for
that.
the
You-
Show. When we
That's
come back,
my
it's,
ambition when
it's
I
set
host
up.
a show, it's exactly my dream to start the show and then just be like, all right, folks, listen to yourself think. I'm gonna go play a game. I'll be right back.
Easy. You're listening to Time for the Show, production of HypercubeGo.com. It's time for your juicy Patreon shout-outs. Oh my god, it's so juicy. Thank you to Triology Soaps for shaving me. Dr. Cosmac, Reverend Codeine, Dr. Trenchy, and Scalpod on the oxalonica level, our potassium level, Reverend Calsoft, Caller 23, and Apostle Expanor. Martha Artha and Freezing Radio supporting us on the AstroTurf level, along with Agent Lloyd, Reverend Negative, YB Dogs, Hazel of the Windmills. For your shout-outs, go to patreon.com/hypercube. You asked for it. And
My boy
asked
Have
for
Dumb
it.
Luck actually asked. Like, he said, my buddy, my good buddy, he said, how is it possible that I would actually entertain this idea of Time for the Show? Is there a website that you could go to?
Why, there's all kinds of websites that you can go to. There's like a menagerie of internet bodegas currently stashed to the brim and exploding with various opportunities, all from your friends at Hypercube Labs. But the easiest thing to do is to go to timefortheshow.com and click the subscribe button. Do it. Just do it. And once you do that, you click the Discord button and you join us on the Hypercom. It's live. Good for you. Good for you. I'm Dr. Fox. I'm broadcasting here from the Subbasement 27 studios here in the Hypercore in Orlando, Florida. But the P.O. Box is in Winter Park at Hypercube Labs, P.O. Box 4304, Winter Park, Florida 32793. It's 3 cubed, divided by 3, and then divided by 3 one more time. It's that easy.
How easy? Is it easy peasy?
Well, we would normally say it's easy peasy, but I guess easy peasy isn't as squeezy as we used to dreezy, because we
so
don't
it's
have
more
any
like
Reverend
easy
peas.
peasy lemon squeezy.
It's yeah, I guess we're gonna have to trade in, because we don't want you trade in peas for carrots. That nobody wins there. But I think if we traded peas for lemons, maybe one of you would like to be Reverend Lemons from now on. Then again, I think any subgenius with a food name is a winner in my book. Reverend Richard Negative Baba Ganoush.
Yeah.
Baba
I'm actually Reverend Richard Send Nudes, but talking about like noodles that you would get.
I
Like,
send you nudes all the time. You just never respond to them.
dude, we don't have to
I
talk
don't think
about
you
this.
appreciate the nudes I send you.
No, that's not fair.
No, I think it's healthy to confront this.
Live radio at this moment? Are you kidding me? Listen,
Don't-
he di-
there are lines that have been drawn. When you cross those lines, that's what we here in the biz like to call the juice. You know?
The juice.
The juice, it drives all of the entertainment force. That's why we don't focus on entertainment. We focus on comedy. Comedy's never been entertaining. Ever.
no.
That reminds me, Juice. Reminds me of there's a movie called Blank Check. You ever seen it?
Yes, about juice.
Yeah. So
Man
so in it, the
buys a
kid
bunch
gets a
of
blank
juice for a
check,
blank
and he
check.
goes to the bank, and just by chance, the bank manager is expecting some businessman by the name of Juice to come in with
Juice?
with the large amount of money to be demanded. So the kid goes in, and the manager mistakes the kid for this character, Juice. And there's a joke, and it's dumb, but I've loved it to the day I die, where the kid walks in, and the guy goes, "Juice?" And the kid says, "No thanks, I'm not thirsty." I don't care. Nobody likes it, but I love it.
Time for the show is never a time where I feel that I should be honest, but to be honest, that is actually a line that has crossed through my head like maybe every other week for like the past 22 years since I saw that movie. I actually have a VHS copy from the Disney Channel that ripped off from the TV, not a purchase. I've got to
Right, now
find
that's-
that, but it's Blank Check. And I really enjoyed that movie because I loved the big fucking hypercube castle he builds with
everybody
the
loved
wall
it
of
too as a kid
TVs.
because it's our fantasy, right? You just get $1 million and you just watch him buy all this shit that's like useless, but it's fun. It's
Yeah,
like, all right, he's got a
yeah,
castle,
because
cool.
they can't believe that he spent $1 million, and it's like, are you kidding me? It's the '90s. This is Disney. Disney has an idea of how you can spend $1 million.
Yeah.
Have fun with it. Give it away.
All you had to do was make a movie.
Yeah, that's all you have to do. Just like this, 99% of time for the show is suffering through it. The other 1% is just showing up.
Well, I mean, that's a pretty significant percent, though. I think. What
Gotta-
if you
gotta
What
choose
if you
not
show up and then you leave and go play a video game?
You can't leave and play a video game. You have to
Well,
you
isn't
have to
that-
play
wasn't
the
that
video
what
game while you do the
do
show.
next time?
You have to you can't deviate. That was a song break. That was an extended song break featuring the Kinks with what's it called?
Never gonna give you up.
That's a really good one. I don't think we've actually played that before on this show, so I was really happy that everyone was able to get their kinks fixed in tonight on time for
Yeah.
the show. As I sat here and just breathed in and out heavily and sipped beverages. The Kinks with what's it called?
Never gonna.
Even play a video game. You have to
Well,
you
isn't
have to
that-
play
wasn't
the
that
video
what
game while you do the
do
show.
next time?
You have to you can't deviate. That was a song break. That was an extended song break featuring the Kinks with what's it called?
Never gonna give you up.
That's a really good one. I don't think we've actually played that before on this show, so I was really happy that everyone was able to get their kinks fixed in tonight on time for
Yeah.
the show. As I sat here and just breathed in and out heavily and sipped beverages. I'm going to sip
Yeah,
some
what?
beverages.
Sorry,
Do
sorry.
you guys
Good
want to
thing.
join? Do you have anything to
You
sip?
were heavy breathing the entire time.
Just a lot of it. I
like,
save
out of
it
your
up.
mouth,
I don't want to do it during the show because I have like a quota of how many breaths I'm allowed into a
I will do that.
microphone.
How many breaths am I allowed, Dr. Fox? At least like 2,000, right?
Well, I mean, you can impose your own limit. You know, it's not
Maybe
a contest.
100?
I know it's probably because I'll do better than you,
75.
but
Have
I'm
you
not
considered-
worried about that. That's why
You
it's
consider
not a
turning
contest.
your head away from the microphone when you breathe?
Well, no, every breath should be audible. Every breath, you know, you should register. Like I'm not breathing. If it sounds like I'm breathing,
No, don't.
that's just
do
an
the normal breathe.
illusion.
That's how he
It's
normally
just an
breathes.
auditory illusion.
Okay, well, I'm done. I tried to play.
You know what happened? Reverend
to
Negative
move
told me
away from
this.
the mic
In,
and
when he
breathe.
was in 5th grade, he bumped his head and he forgot how to breathe, and that's how he relearned how to do it.
So it's been a couple of
supposed
weeks.
to tell them that. That's no, you're not.
You know, the only reason why I come here
don't
and I
wanna tell people
entertain the
that.
masses and get on the radio to
breathe.
speak to people is to tell your secrets.
My mass is entertained by. Yeah, please tell me more of Reverend Negative's secrets. I think that's the best idea for the show so far. The audience agrees.
Sometimes he sleeps on the ceiling.
He's never
No, I
pissed on a
don't.
ceiling.
No, and I
right?
don't mean the roof, like on top of the house. I mean the ceiling, like
Oh
on
no,
the
that
inside.
I figured that like next to a spinning ceiling lamp or something like that. I'd
He
imagine.
prefers the light.
The white noise.
Half moth.
Half moth? Which half?
The lower half.
That's unfortunate because I wish he had one of those long proboscises that he could unfurl at me.
Oh, he does.
Can you unfurl your
family.
proboscis into the microphone, Reverend Negative? That's hot. That's pretty hot. That's pee hot.
Yeah, except that he had to unfurl it from his pants. And it wasn't pleasant to be here with him when he did that.
Well, I've got like my anime girlfriend. And Reverend Negative, it sounds like you can shape up to be my anime girlfriend.
Hell yeah.
But
Because he's
that's
half a moth.
that's because my anime girlfriends are all terrifying monsters. It's not like they're women or anything. They're just
I was actually projecting Godzuki.
I mean, it's true, but are they at least female monsters?
Godzuki or Minya.
No, well, there's a debate there, but
It's the
Godzuki.
master debate. Yeah, come on. Yeah, you
Godzuki
might
was
have
what
you
I
might
was
have
imitating.
you might
It
have
wasn't a
forgot how to
full
do something in
Godzilla,
5th
it was
grade,
a
but I
little
picked up a
Godzilla.
joke. Yeah. Suck
Now,
it.
this conversation is getting a little handsy.
Yes.
Can we get that 3 more times? Bam, 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 bam. This is the best.
I'm not a DJ. I'm a producer, but I think it was called for this show in particular to just make sure that the system was working. So one more for good measure.
Of course.
Oh man, it's great, fantastic.
Actually, I don't think I heard it. Could you try again? No, it only came out in one speaker on that time. Not quite yet. I think you need to do it again.
No. Just turn around.